He's got a country soul, a storyteller's pen, and a groove that hits somewhere between honky-tonk and heartfelt. Let's welcome singer-songwriter Matt Rogers on this week's Spotlight Music Series. So good to have you with us.
Hey, thanks so much for having me in.
Yeah, so you're kicking off new music starting next month with at least 3 additional releases and an EP slated for later this year. You're a busy, busy man. Tell us more about this.
I try to be as busy as I can,
Yeah.
But we're really excited. Brand new music coming, full-length record, several releases in between that, and excited to be coming down to your neck of the woods to Isle of Palms for the Songwriter Festival.
I know, that's going to be really excited. I want to get a little bit more into the details of that event coming up as well, but maybe you could share a little bit more about some of the themes that are driving this next chapter in your music.
Well, I'm originally from the state of Georgia, and I spent a number of years in Macon, Georgia. So I'm going a little bit back to my roots there. It's kind of the home of Southern rock there, the Marshall Tucker Band, the Allman Brothers, so on and so forth. So I am going to be very much guitar centric on this next record. It's got a little bit more of an edge to it than some previous work that I've put out. But really excited. It's really inspired work. I'm working with one of my favorite guitar players live. Rob McNally is producing the record. He's played on about every hit country record you can think of. So we're just very, very excited about the new music.
Yeah, and tell us more about, this is a big hit, Margaritas for Christmas. That generated a lot of buzz over the holidays. So what inspired you to put that song together? And obviously you touched a nerve. People love it.
Well, it was just a funny situation. I was going in the writing room with a couple of my friends downtown on Music Row, and it was in June a couple years ago, and conservatively, I can't remember the exact temperature, but I want to say it was 174 degrees Fahrenheit.
Sounds about right.
It was unbelievably hot. And they said, man, we should write a Christmas song. This is when they write them. And I was getting ready to go to Mexico the next week. And I was like, I'm not really in the Christmas mindset. Thus, Margaritas for Christmas was born. A couple hours later, we had a song. We sat on it for a little while. And this last year, I was like, the timing just feels right. And I think we got a little lucky. We caught it on a Christmas season where it didn't seem like a lot of the heavy hitters here in Nashville putting out Christmas music. So, and it's it's a different theme. It's a whole nother concept it's not your granddaddy's Christmas song.
So you traveled to Mexico, but you travel all over the place. So this last year, tell us some of the places where you visited.
The last few years have been really, really cool seeing the growth of the European market.
Yes.
I'm heading back this year several times. I'm looking so forward to it. I'm opening a tour for my friend Jade Helliwell in April in the UK. She's like an 11-time British CMA award winner. Going back to Switzerland again, going to Denmark, Germany, Liechtenstein. So some really cool countries, and I get to see some really cool things over there. Some places that I never thought my guitar and pen would take an old Georgia boy.
And really a songwriter at heart. So the fact that you're coming out to IOP for the Songwriters Festival is really quite meaningful. What makes Songwriter Festivals unique for you, and what can some of our coastal audience expect from your particular set?
To me, a great song always has a great story, and that's what you try to do as a songwriter, is craft that story into a song. And I love getting to tell a little bit of background and a little bit about myself and where some of these inspirations come from the song. And with a big show or in the studio, you can hide a lot of things with production or fireworks and pyro and all this stuff, but in this type of situation, it's extremely intimate. It's like being in someone's living room. So the song has to kind of stand on its own 2 legs. Most of the time, it's just you, the song, and an instrument.
Yeah.
So it's some of my favorite shows to play because I am so infatuated with the art of writing songs. And it's part of my craft that I've done nothing but try to hone and get better at day after day. So
before we let you go, can we talk a little bit about Camouflage?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so tell us a bit more about this. And it was selected for a campaign, a really special one.
Yeah, it came from a really difficult situation. The loss of a friend that was a 23-year U.S. Marine Corps and U.S. Army vet tragically took his life and became one of the statistics of 22 a day. Some studies show that it's up to 50 a day. Yeah. And I wrote it with my long-term guitar player, Nick Reed. We got the news on the road. We wrote it in a hotel room at like 2 a.m. one night. Never expected anyone to hear it. It was more or less a therapy for us to kind of get out what we were feeling, and shared it to a couple of friends, common veterans, things like that. And we ended up partnering with Brothers Keepers Veteran Foundation, which is an unbelievable charity out of Georgia that does work for our veteran community. So 100% of all the streams, all revenue, downloads any penny that song makes goes directly to their organization.
It's wonderful.
And we also have a co-branded T-shirt on the website. It's all the proceeds from that T-shirt as well go to them. So it's given me a whole renewed sense of purpose on how to use my platform and what I can do. But it felt great to honor somebody that I felt that needed honored, including all of the veterans that have become part of that statistic. Just one more part to add on that. You know, in the 22 years in the global war on terror in both Iraq and Afghanistan, we lost 7,800 troops killed in action. And that's not to water down people that paid the ultimate price for our country fighting for freedom. But in that same amount of time, over 120,000 veterans took their own lives. So there's obviously a disconnect there, and something that we need to be having a conversation with. So
thank you so much for shining a light on it, and thank you so much for writing a song and bringing it to the masses. You know, I think people will walk away from your concerts with a deeper sense, a deeper feeling of humanity. So for anyone who's interested, Isle of Palm Songwriter Festival, that's happening Saturday, April 11th, and that is also going to be contributing towards the Low Country Orphan Relief, among other nonprofits. So a wonderful opportunity to give back to the community. Matt Rogers, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. Can't wait to see you soon.
And we can't wait to hear your song coming up after the break, so don't go anywhere, anybody. We've got music in 2 minutes. We'll be right back.